Hello. Yeah. Abusianfo me mamu nyina kwa aba. Abusianfo me mamu nyina kwa aba. Ya abusian me mamu nyina kwa aba na nwumre yi de ba RAZ Media GH on YouTube. Ene de ye nhyedan kasa nche. Yes. But the edi kan person mfanchia ene kabre ema Ghana mpanyinfo Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo, His Excellency the Vice President of the land, Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, and all the important dignitaries in the country. Mi wi so na me de aseda ne kambia ema yenwianu mampepifo amowo wiase amansan mu nyina. Yeah, ene ye wo ensem bebre na ene de me ba ye nyina ne se ampipi amanyokuo emu mpanyinfo atu anamon bi akopiem ewo UK. Now, because of the nature of that town hall meeting now omokoye no UK ntino ene me se me ankasa me nye show, but we are coming to watch and sama ampipi mpanyinfo e de atodwa ewo UK amanyo UK manim na yensanso ntie nsema Ghana fo omo UK omo nso no omo de to ampipi amanyoko nanim kan wo se ha chama wuntumi ejina ha bi chama nie Dr. Kumia eka ho bi JFK eka ho bi saa nso no kwajo ponkroma eka ho bi enti moma yenko tie the powerful campaign message introduced by this big man in where is that in UK. Abusia waba wo de she video no na fere wadofo ne o nkrofo wana wonim won na obia mepe nsem papa na MPP fo mpanfo di gu kwan mu ewo UK na obia mepe bi ntie. It will remain you shocked to hear things are sabio chama wuntumi JFK, Dr. Kumia, and many big men in the MPP. Some of them be good kwanso. Inti yankwen konko tie. Ye tie ni nyina so no betumi afre number no. Na wo so wa kire wa adwen afade wutie no ho. Mum yankwen konko tie.
Brofo and a tree so ye tree. Material UK has said 27 years ago, na me te croydon ha. Na ma pra streets bebre wa croydon ha said. Titu lower disco ne adenti na mababa pena wa hase 27 years ago say ano kwa no a chair PhD a the bebo no UK hase na obi a watu kwa bia no apese oye adwumaden e bi so a watumi akofie efise sawudi ebia tu nsuo mu a entumi na ne opata na se entumi na ne fish enti saa so na mfa ho ne nkata wo wa ha ontumi na ne hase ni ye be ye bia no wo ye Ghana ni enti se Ghana ye better ana bema wo so ho atɔ na osu watumi akofie sa obeye ketuo sa obeye kesio eye pa enunti uba ha se uba no aba be adwumaden ewa ha na odi akofie na say ade asa ye flag bearer party leader and the vice president wa ha say ya the policies are odi to akwemu no it never happened before in any world ye krom Ghana said ya make say matna UK ha say no na matna Ghana so no me huru no pefe say Ghana is changing faster than Europe. Ghana is changing. Your country, our country, my country is changing faster. Your problem I want to say from 1992 ebe Fourth Republic no aye MPP NDC into obia ba mfie nwotwe a na obia no pese so aba mfie nwotwe de a ene ye wo so kɔ na party foforo mra. Ghana will never develop unless we keep one political party, we let them stay in power for long before we can have the big transformation to develop our country. Mutie, yefra bibi political transition. Sir, MPP onyankopon mane masa. So wulu super. Na se NDC ba. De atiene se omu wo 2 years a. Ewo so omu de behwehwe contract eni nyuma ya ye ne ade ye nyina. Enti se wo ye MPP ni o, so wo ye NDC ni o, there is no development for 2 years because afa ne ye appointment ne ade nyina. Media minima de to say finance minister mo ene honorable Afanyoma Kinsomo, but I can learn fast or I learn fast. I learn fast. Unim say yes sir political transition no a my country ni nyina no nyuma ni nyina no stay back. Na say stay back pa aye country no and your development no a delay na say suffer. It is a one to me anya one political party be amena to us one cha. Would the 2 years aye? Would the 2 years in the year now the 1 year now the year development. Another year no aye election year 4 years. Aye 4 years. Na mesra mumuntie ni ye aha na nyansa ni nimde wo. 2024 elections is a Northern election. When I say it's a Northern election, it's a Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and John Dramani Mahama. So be it. It's these two people and Yakoto Maswaba. Backward the vice president and Wababe the president da. And about so aya vice president and Opes will be the president. And say aya dear na waye na dear na Opesa woye. Na aya dear na and this for no more power, or man ya na MPP buy ya babaye. This is about policies. Now, what shall say? John Dramani Mahama, a former president, J. Kufoli Din Kakaye, or see Obia no wa ubetimi di Ghana su in fear 9, now dia Udia Ghana. Anna John Mahama and Subetina Fieno, or no Subaka say. Obia ne ho obetimi adi Ghana president no the 4 years atimi ama Ghana develop it. Say dear Nasia, say who won't fear naipe according to your constitution. When yamra de ma mose, where camera Ghana honorable afonyo marking more atina parliament no masise adiama ye ni agiatum. And he said 4 years a pet and a John Mahama say oba no oba bedia. Now on no answer swaka say obi enu ho beti me de 4 years na ye development. Aye de kura na de di kan no e wo so ogina. Na mesra mu UK for ene ye nuan ma mu wa brochire de wo ye nkofo a mutumi busa question ye pa. Na mo adwen mu api because mo ma questions a mo bebusa mu wo fie kura no. Eno kura wan hwe a untumi answer na ne papa no aba na obebusa question. Ye wo UK hai. Eni pa mi nu ye bra ba omia okwa ya pa de manu o 8 years enti so kwa obetimi aba ye nwia John Mahama ya to aba na mana oni bimba bio enti sa wo mama o mu mi so mo kwa Ghana na wo so wo sika bi se so mo kwa o mo nto ade bi mfamra wo yuka ha o mu mienu mu de hen na obesoma no me pese me busamu o omu mienu ho mu dia ya aya hwan de o kwa ba your friend say adenti ana was say you wasting your time I was any pa mienu we ho na yentimi make a decision. Development of our nation will not fall from heaven to earth unless somebody who has a plan. And the person who has a plan is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Ghana is going to be interesting. Our country is going to be interesting in 2025. If you look at the policies and the plan our flag bearer is holding and sharing with us. So what should I say? All kase yewra no din ka be kasa ye minua yi all kase say ye nyina believe say Togo ye duty free meboa anya sa na ye ka no na minua ba no o ka no brofo o say it's a benchmark. Ghana duty cannot be higher than Togo duty. Sana na no o ka no brofo na emu bi de ye ti ase say Togo omu duty semono aye duty free. Enti sa Ghana so ba be ye duty free a. Ye nuanom a omu wa brochire nyina no. Ade na omu hwehwe. Ade a omu hwehwe ne se omu betima ye adwumaden no omu betime de omu sika to bibi na omu de aba fie na omu ba beton. Anya sa. Enti sa Ghana Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia se odi duty free mayen ya yempe. Yempe. Na me de me kasa ne beba wiye no. There is one policy Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and the Akufo-Addo government a year next month ye de ba obi abehu but di Akufo-Addo achia ko the whole Ghana and ma di Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia achia ko the whole Ghana ba bia ye ko ye bia no de obi aka eho asem aye yakwan akwan ana obi aka ho asem na Ghana akwan no sabe anya MPP ba Powwefull ana akwan no ba yo akwan no na wo hodada MPP ye problem pa yenya ebi wo ho no de ase ana communication for no nkasa communication for no kasa pa they are doing well onu say ye ba no na average ne ye 10 e ba na e de ko 16 no e kire say more development and e ko ho na ya kwan sin government bia from 1957 abepem ne no government and betimi de ne ho a compare Akufo-Addo ene Bawumia government ni nyina chi a se ufri Accra na wo kọ Kumasi a ye yi akwan no fufuro na ufri Achimota na wo de kọ Pokuase Ane amasamai to nsabamu Jesus Christ. Mesi wo mu wie kwan no a landing ha de mu hu bi. Agye sa America ne Canada mo ana sa kwan no mu behu bi wo ho. Mesi mo ba na mu behu na kwan a ye wo ye kuro mu a. Sofoti is Legon. Sofoti is Legon. Same awukuti is Legon. First no muntie ni ye. Na woko is Legon a na ye kwan ba ko pe ana na de ko. Se si ya me no kasa yi. Uba na ba be hwe overhead bia. Ba womia government. Ye free aye sprinters ho no e de link to aye is Legon ho a obia wo ho a now pesa okokotena is Legon ho. Ghana is changing. Ghana is developing. Ghana is changing. Our country is developing. Our country is changing. Now, a year next month in Kwano, every constituency be a 276 constituencies. A kufadu neba umiase. A sansa Ghana nyinano. Wama complain ewo rose untino. Constituency biano. Ye man one brand new grader. Ye man one brand new roller. Ye man one brand new water tanker. Ye man one brand new piloder. Ye man one brand new excavator. Ye man 2 tipper trucks. Tipper trucks no can man for antias anwiaka. Ye man anwiaka mienu. Ye man anwiaka mienu. Na sa wo sa niema we nyina no wo constituency a. Na ye 276 a. Munhunu se sabe sa MPP for kra no se yentimi nya Ghana kwan nyina sabe Ghana kwan no bebre no ebeye mre ama yatimi afa kwan no so ama yaw no atimi asusu. So we are not perfect government, but we are good to manage Ghana economy. We are not perfect, but we are good in terms of management. MPP government, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia government is good. So, as an MPP regional chairman, I'm pleading to everybody here to call somebody, for somebody to call somebody, that 2024 December 7th elections, if we want Ghana to develop, we should vote for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. He's the future of Ghana. May God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you very much. Chairman Wuntumi. Chairman has set it off. Yeah, tree speaking string and on the end of the tree to us. Chairman, I mean, so Ghana for the Asia, I'll see it to the tree, no, Efrafra. Yeah, I say, Chairman, people recognize the groups we are, you invite you, and there, but I call you UK Zongo community, represented by a number of their members, led by Alhaji Marafa. So, Alhaji Marafa, if you're here, give us a wave. Thank you very much. You're welcome to the house. Me present also, me recognize in the house, MP for Yendi, Honorable Farouk Mahama, is in the house. Honorable, thank you very much. Also, Bishop Francis Sapon, General Overseer, Calvary Charismatic Baptist Church, Bishop Nyamishirao Akwaba. The next speaker, somebody I admire so much as the MPP UK Communications Director myself. Mahama people. Pages in the Nana Komia is a former member of parliament, former minister, former communication director of the MPP, and now vice chairman of the Bamia campaign team. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Nana Komia.
Do. Because we don't have a lot of time, I will just go straight to my message. Chama want to me train no MP to say what they and papa chow. Me the befrafra. Because I'm a challenger, I'm a good many massive. Na Osha yang Ghana Your economy, yeah. A free 2017 babeto ene. Ubetimi achemu mienu. Imre na COVID emba yeno. Eye 20 if you mean 2017 echo 2019. Na COVID emba yuase. Na Ghana economy no. Eye one of the best in the world. Kwen biaso. Oshe CD na huonding a free 2017 by 2019. Oshe interest rates. Oshe GDP growth. But GDP growth, it's an economy we move trend. It was Ghana economy, GDP growth was the best in the world. 8%, 2017, 6.5, 2018, 6.2, 2019. And a COVID bar 2020. COVID bar if we are seeing more UK ha munims kwanya COVID edemo faso be bosumi miensa o se na munya prime ministers best miensa ninya COVID amani hu a COVID de bai na COVID amani hu nso no edaso wo ho effect no edaso e wo ho Ghana nso e economy no ebe pascal COVID no bai economy na enyi 8%, 6.5, 6.2. 2020 a shine bar from 0.8. That's about a 70% loss or drop in the GDP. Tiabema yenka any GDP, never no GDP debt ratio. Ebema kano kosro. And a bonifren we called debt crisis. Because GDP any uka they say we pay uji $100 busumina udeka 40 uji £100 now deka £40 now we pay no anhwia ba 60 and now £50 we say okano in relation to what the total we pay one okano kosro sana kobai GDP no shine free 6.5 6.2 to 0.8 no ema a cano ebe dawson and you're calling to debt crisis. But then you're Ghana and said a medical can if you are senior. Nancy, now treat me a poor boating, more casamo poor boating by Ghana. No, because say, baby, I knew you see her and near my boy, particularly Johnny Boy, ancestor. Now, so, Obetia, yes, you, Debbie. Man, a Yenina Baba to Ghana, no. And fa COVID de ho e akufado aban e na enyade enipa yo mo ka sanse me mo call brochure a e no mo ka COVID asemo eni oye ne a COVID e de abre Africa but mo ba Ghana say akufado e na onyade into na Ghana economy no apaska yan fa nto nchen ebe mia ye ni netime ye hu afri oye ne a COVID de abai Manu P called IMF, the National Monetary Fund. Yes, and the yanko. Ya besheni etimiati 3 more remove. Ye den shishaya ba. Say betimi a boy ne ye free. Amani huna COVID de abano. Yanko IMF. Inti ya DBB in shishebi by a friend e-levy. Electronic levy say we digital payment kakra betis ubi chess kakra.
SKB TV, Miss B, greetings to you too. Phobia member also Mwakwaba. Yeah, welcome everybody. Questions here and everybody, you're welcome.
Buying Yakukudro can say SACO IMF. A drone and you now so far not be more watowa a better so befa na a sanso ubube ntia ko IMF kakra economy no e free amani huna ye call COVID mo no na mo areshe mu se yetimi etoa so se na chama wontumi kan ya enche bia be free oye na democracy say na finance minister wa have obeka ne ho asem nipa na ede omoka ya yen hwehwe ma sei e kanu ya eba ba bia ebetimi ama o ma na konanim So now we try me omni creditors in ya by into agreement. So no free hono. And chebia sika say ye release in a ball manum ye be release. In fact, I started to say ba the projects here chama want to me can akesi enya a block sikano because of yenka na cost no o de compare your economy no. They say she share na finance minister ni creditor nations including UK akomunti no. Says Kenya ba be release. This our projects in ya ba be hu. Na nchebia nso no credit anaf embagana no e be sha she say ba. Na ye ba be ye elections December ya yenya yenim. Senator ma want to make an no. Enipa mbienu titru. John Mahama and Mahmoud Bawumia. Why na yemfa 2 minu enhye nsem. Na asra mebe no so kra. Oyene yachi COVID echire ni oyene ene omani hu ede abre Ghana economy no. Eni wiase nyia no. Nima bi wo ho a yetimi mia ye ni aye o Ghana. Wo hwe free SHS a. Ebi nsi da wo man no. Ye de ba ye nwua no besi ye ntimi mfem ba. Kwame Nkrumah kra ntimi amfam ba. Nanso ye de ba. Emenne Ghana nkola omonya secondary school free. Anka omonya sa akwenya no. Ebro 600,000. A free 2017 betonne. Asking san kola no say kenye free SHS a. Komo ntimi nko secondary school. Na ehun susu anso no ye nya ehun ye. Enche bia ebe hu ehun susu anso a Ghana kola bia ye be wonu obenya free SHS. Who free no achi a. Sa digitalization yi. Se no na chama wontumi gina so o ka se ye nema esesa wo Ghana kra Europe ha na bi wo ha na ndu ho. Sa digitalization ye dey bay. Be ma manu konkan akonenim pa. Ena ye Ghana card. Ghana card no che so bia wo Ghana wo one identity. Em sa ha de munim sa de na bia wo na identity card. But yen de no na yesrunku wo mu ni se a digital identity. The digital identity che say ubi bia wo so. When Nikosia wonsa ninya wo so. Men na ukuta sa Ghana card na wo free. Abroche ha na oba Ghana na ho passport a obetimi de Ghana card no aba. Na se wo sa identity no. Eyade a udwen hu se anadeda de yatena ho na ye ni sa identity. Because so ko amanoni amohanum say no ma sa identity ni wo ho. Obedwen hu se antina Ghana ye ni sa identity. Nse na ye de aba nipa 17 million. Eni amo Ghana ka obi ekuta ni identity digital identity. Na sa card no enche bia ebeye the basis of total transformation in the Ghana. Ujina no so mene upese uto electricity a. Sana hamoye no ya wote odem. Uboki mienu miensa bi wo phone so a what electricity. Answer na no ba no person auto electricity a utu car na unanti ko obi ono aye ni store ton electricity. Ukono apon a ohu achew ana sensu to a ohu achew. But the neno digital ejuma na ye dey ba for ejuma ye dey ba Ghana nti utu fie between auto electricity. Person utwa water bill, utu fie between water bill. O person high bus, person ye den utu fie obetimi aye. Esansa digital ejuma ya ababedi mu ewo Ghana. Your friend interoperability. O person diska koma o ma mi wo eyi. Ufo abroche episode diska koma ma mi obetimi. Ehun ya so be call Western Union. Obetimi abonu straight na call ma mi ho. Akoni phone so. First no who MTN now they call Vodafone enye interoperability here they abey. And no who he has a Vodafone and I say and then from Telecel and that's what they call MTN ninya ebeko. Na yen die no crowd yen network to network pay. Yeah, dear no. Utimi eye interoperability no between bank accounts. Ntu betimi yi sika free bank account with akoto momo. Now they are sending obi and I betimi yi sika you momo mu dey to bank account mu. Africa ha been here. Europe ha kra no. Enye baby a na biasi. Say ubetimi a move sika between your bank accounts. And then you will be what Ghana. Na upeso ya usisan auto a health insurance. First no nam nkran be na ya block lolly kwan bi. E wa ko na health insurance office wo ho. Na nipa ne ba be to health insurance on ba be renew. Na ne o ma dump him na lolly kwan ya block. And now person to health insurance utu fee waiting to health insurance. Your networking hospitals in here, all the teaching hospitals and the regional hospitals and the district hospitals, your network. It's a no record. Free Tamale teaching hospital near refer about comfort not here. Ubeko comfort not now record. You do Ghana card, your boy will number the record in here. Your networking in here, your networking pharmacies. Into uko phone so now boy pharmacies a war area hunyan ebeba na drone na ohwehwe no bogumu a ebecho pharmacies a e was and drone in the board. Now what ring you ma obetimi atwea digital out till them. And there were a friend drone delivery. Let him say third world country nye bebia na kwane ye. You set up drone centers. Drone here, I bet for a small aeroplanes here, 2 here. I'm a no, or a Caribbean sina, Sebi or war akau, na Yarebi, Abana here moja. Ofre drone center now, or be deliver. A drone say snake serum, or war a drone, and now say moja, a bed deliver drone. They are better. Maybe I will. Now, Ghana drone delivery service, no, the whole world, and the largest to Africa. I know so I custom. Even though COVID be high, and maybe we are calling him. Nasalam di kankan yaba be election. December ya nipanu emienu John Mahama Bawumia. Esi etimi yibako. John Mahama also what be friend to 24-hour economy. Ubisa omoa. It depends on na ubisa na semro. So there be a bar between aton wache after 6 p.m. Kuya 4 between a juma 24 hours. Meaning some the street light back or quiet numa na waiting out akodo banche anajo 8 o'clock. Just say when ya na say they bidum sit matisi ya njata na kenka. But media nankrofu eken John Mahama. Yes, you'll be a waye bidano. Any is Antoine so. Obedi o man so 2012. Or the BB friend of private sector development strategy. I know say about the pager Ghana economy do. Na juma krankre juma adimu na pager economy juma piaba. Omo launch in 2011 say omba be 2015. And nyema a normal Kenya for 24-hour economy no. Ninya was our private sector development strategy. Omunya Kenya obey president. No de buy a dum so. Inti and then no a bit some bit now cut the same things and the way beba me the way beba me the way beba. Ninya no Kenya na was our strategy no. Anya juma. Na kwatre kwa. Oso be ma untuma na eso tie anything. Na yera Bawumia a ono ne John Mahama na April. O say 2025 enye 2016 niema sesa. Just say den hwehwe foforo eba. Ne niso ade ehunu ne se ne friend no macro economy. Sidi na hoden nneɛma boɔ ɔde adwen foforɔ ɛɛba baako ne sɛ yɛtu gold yɛ wɔyɛ man mu ha gold nso ɛyɛ dɛn ɛyɛ sika ɛne yɛtu sika ɛno nti no yɛde gold no yɛbɛtɔ no more na yɛde abaake yɛn sika no seed no UK ha muti pound no ahoɔden no pii no gyina gold na ɛwɔ Bank of England more about 4,000 tons of gold. And until na euro ba mo dem pound because mun gyina so kɛseɛ bi. Na Ghana no yɛn yɛ to gold, UK ha mun to gold. As yɛn gold no yɛ 8 tons per. UK ha mo over 4,000. Ti ba omi ase yɛ betu yɛn gold no. Ni a refine no to the London bullion standard. So ba yɛ betimi e dia back e dia so ye sika no e be boa e ma ye sika no e gina na ne obni se nyedim se sika de dollar musu musika yi pound sterling ye fre e say dollar na enti e no convertible between the atade wa broche between the atade wa manone and now be bia because between the pound na atade untimi fa seed ni atade but between the gold in so atade into a gold that CD na sia. Se CD no ho chere no a the gold no be support CD no. O de hwehwe ba na ba mas yenya saa akwanya no. And oil ya yetoi o the dollar into the CD no asesa no into dollar na de akoto oil petrol. Ya de bibia by friend no gold for oil. Ti the CD no eto gold. Yeah, the gold not to oil because it means seed no to oil, but between the seed no between the gold at oil near the seed no to gold. In effect, no seed no aye convertible kakra because gold near the seed and eto ewo Ghana $5 neto. In effect, yeah the seed no eto and also aboa ema seed no enya hoden kakra. Now ba obehye sa adwumanum kena. Pa afei yen sika ahoɔden no so gina government no yɛfrɛ no fiscal policy finance minister has obekasa obɛkyerɛ aseɛ yie but sɛ upay 100 cedis na bosomi sika wodi 150 cedis a kyerɛ sɛ ɔwɔ deficit of 50 cedis to de ka ɛno nti no ɔde nhyehyɛe ba sika ye de beye yen budget and tra 5% of the previous year's tax revenue. Sene beya yen spend sika no in a way a be affect cedi no ahoden. O den hyehyɛ eba. Afei enema pia aban eye. Na menwa wuntumi kan road si. Road si dodo na ye besia. Besia so kobo abetwa. Wentwa we see the na ho de beko na ba omiase enema ni bi wo ho a eye commercially viable che say wo de ma obi no ya obenya ho mfaso nti sa enema ni nya no obeyi free aban budget mu fa no say Accra Kumasi yenya enim se na quality nkenya no 6 lane a nkepe. And if you are in Kumasi, 242 kilometers, we don't really num 5 hours because I can't a single lane. But sa kwano, Kenya no 6 lane and Kenya. It's a buying car. But the map private sector beer because a commercially viable. Commercially viable, just a cars never fasten. The map private sector be no share cars never fasten. No the toll better swa. Ebia 10 years better nika. Ye wo ankrankra juma private sector banks no omujuma no nti ode saa ode nhyehyɛ ba be ma private sector ba na kwan te say Accra Kumasi Accra Takoradi Accra Flawo cars no faso no be ma private sector mo ma ye na ya tolu sana mo ye wo UK na enu na free aban budget mu no sound the tax reform eba. Ghana higher entry tax, direct tax, you do 4 million. Normal can you need more? The friend informal sector. It's a Ghana card in it. Yankupon Chadia. 17 million nipana omkuta Ghana card. Ama omwa omuni omunchia to direct ya timia show because of the Ghana card. Inti nipa bese 13 to 12 million entry direct tax. They say because of Ghana card, you may be omunyawo. Tino ani say ayen shishe na almost arbitrary to kakra. Obi o feel we be plumbing, we be painting. Obi try no 300 cedis, 400 cedis. Your friend informer on tria, but in a Ghana card into ye nimuno. Ndi odin shishe ba flat rate. Nye bibi afina ko fill forms be 10 pages. There be flat rate. We a plumber. If I say, oh, 100 cedis, bosome. We are electrician, 100 cedis, bosome. We are painter, 100 cedis, bosome. We make sure our phone so. No when ya receipt our phone so. Na oko to bibi to say electricity. And na insu na untria sa atu na untimi. Sena be ubia we have so we a plumber, we are electrician, we are there unsu be 100 cedis. They say I come in 2 minutes. Enti sa shisheye or day bay. Na fe export drive. Ne maybe why ehun ni faso se bekra. Chicken. Emo. But in needy national drive. But I'm asking about the power of the presidency bet tie say Jumeiso. Na yetimia develop chicken industry, rice industry, na san menemenya ehun ya se $1 eba beto. Na esanze mo 2 minutes ma mentwa so. Into the baumiani jomama etu sinie so a. Am say ah baumi o kan kufado ho. Na economy na say and omu ye dre and corruption and family and friends. Sa suboy the boy aban ya. Nyam kopon chade. Muhammad ono so be president. Sa suboy the boy akufado aban ya. O hwa John Mahama aban ya. Sa family and friends John Mahama breso and asakasa no ba Ghana. No de ba Ghana samre ne friend no aban bagbin and no speaker. About no corruption, John Mahama bank or America met chairman miensa and 9 bi mu be dream. I confirm Kota Ghana for sika 9 million de money per bag so onko ya confirm. Yeah, who baby I confirm. Yes, so mo to Burkina Faso. Ufri hwa the same nipa na santam 18 million so onfen ko ye kwaye or enough. Eni dwe bia ni ho. Eni na ken kan. It's about no corruption. About the economy. Joma mo de enko IMF anambwa. Ebano don't see the impunity dre. Then go no catch and say undi president don't mean can wase. Dre be na sit a chance. Inti subo bia am de bebo akufado between the Abo Mahama. It is a see a pet alternative intimi enye John Mahama because ya man kwenya ne da. Ono kra de nyame ncha de onyamfie 9 ne fa. President bia ma Ghana the first step, onya mfie 9 nefa. Mahama do no kwanya mfie 9 nefa. Naso ne djuma no anso Ghana fo anim. Ema nu nti no yekoye election no Ghana fo 2 na ban no eguye. The only sitting president in the 4th Republic, Yamano, second term. Rawlings nya second term. Kufuor nya second term. Akufo-Addo nya second term. Mahama nkwa. Nti ne djuma no Ghana fo ehu ne djuma no. Enso mani. Baomia e mojamono adwen foforo. Enti sese e pe alternative. Na wetimi e de adwen foforo aba. E de atoaso, e de abibi foforo a entimi enye Mahama. Because on nsa no ye hunda. Na se be kan kan no. Aye bida. Ene to anaso. Nye obi a ye ma wa kwenya no. Odi enko ditch. Enti Banyansa for yasi your bomb yetumube and come asem. Timide masen ba bewie ene. Na eche ne kwanya ba ye besen di nkomo. Eda masepa.
Thank you very much, Nanakomia, for that inspirational speech. Say, I can't say Ghana or IMF, you will not know, say, IMF. The Indian America, sir, Jumanini be anywhere, matter say a pump of your Juman. Compared to Tama, now NDC for IMF. Any more cancellations are your cancel here. Say, I can't you will never know because the Jumanu Guzu Koso, maybe a Koso Kama, public sector workers, you Triomoka. When you increase crab administration, into bold solutions for the future, you to be found compare any of JM's policies. Thank you very much for that, Nana Komia. My next speaker, I think, has gone AWOL. Oh, yes, he's around. Apologies for that. He's here. So my next speaker is no other person than the Director General of the National Lotteries Authority and the PC parliamentary candidate for Kwapim North, former MPP youth organizer, former MPP organizer, my brother Samuel Uku.
Thank you. Now, you didn't add that former deputy communications director to the very venerable Nana Komia. My boss any day. Excellency, Majority Leader, Minister for Finance, men of God, and ambassadors here, party executives, Nana, no men friends. All I can say is boys, boys, and girls, girls too. Good evening. So I'll just spend 2-3 minutes. In March 2024, 15th March, I saw Modern Ghana online, 2024 polls. Dr. Omane Boama predicts 57.3% victory for Mahama. This was March. The MPP had not started campaign. We started our campaign in May. Then again, 23rd May 2024, NDC will win by 52%. So in March, they were leading by 57%. In May, is 52%. I pray July will come early. And then December 7th. My job here is simple. I think this election is an election that is a contest between the past and the future. The past and the future because on the ballot paper will be a retirement package for a former president. And on the ballot paper too will be a vote that you need to cast for your future. There are some of our colleagues here who came down to register. And some you have so much influence on family and friends back home. Finance Minister and the team are here, so I'm sure they will go into figures. And just as Nana Komia has spoken extensively about the policies of Dr. Bawumia, we've had the opportunity of engaging the youth across the country in all the 16 regions of Ghana in the first phase of the Dr. Bawumia campaign. In their eyes, you see hope. In their eyes, you see a positive mindset towards both solutions. I am clear in my mind, this election will not be an election that will be somebody winning by 0.something%. Or the person who will win, and we are on the winning side. Because if from March, the NDC's own, from their own polls, in March they were leading by 57%. I'm not saying it, they are director of elections. And in May, their national chairman is saying that they are winning by 52%. If March, only April in between. So between March and May, 5 percentage points down, then I think that we are in for a good run. But we will not be complacent. We'll campaign for every vote. Our tour around the country, where I found it most refreshing was even in the Volta region. For the first time, I saw people fighting over NPP t-shirt. So, If anybody is sitting there and thinking that this election, the NDC's mentality was that if the MPP wins, then it's been a rigged election, then they don't get it. When we're visiting market to market, house to house, NDC were never doing that. Just now they've started. So our colleagues here in the UK, here you have your own problems. And the conditions that we face is global. And if anybody doubts the effect of the COVID, for the first time, London was under lock and key. People could not go out. People could not worship. Brothers could only do a hi-fi or wave. People could not hug each other. The world was at a standstill. And I will compare these two administrations, the MPP NDC, to a contractor or a builder. One builder, and I'm mason a inyano, we see dynasty ho. In Suanto, we are more. A dynasty wa ni driguye. Then you have another contractor, puts up a building. In Sio toy, a dynasty anyano. A we are boy, a dynasty anyano. And an earthquake, a buy, and a swa, a die away we are hona. You cannot tell me, sir, because Bakon also dine drigu yeno. Oh, dear, in Sio toy, uncle, a we are to a boy, yes, so uncle, but an earthquake, I will need a home control. So the NDC, comparing the NDC to us, even though we are all political parties, but it will be like comparing apples to oranges, not because we are all fruit. But they be the end there or more makeup near different. Mr. Mahama on the campaign trail and the NDC on the campaign, they are not offering any tangible solution to any of the problems. Okay, say you want to scan through and talk about 5 major policies of the NDC, you won't get it. But we have been able to propose solutions. We've admitted where there are challenges. And let me be very honest. We haven't been a bunch of saints in government. But on the balance of probability, the MPP will be a lesser evil to NDC any day. Man to man, policy to policy, we are the men and the party with ideas. The first batch of people that could for time, free maternal care under President John Ajekum Kufuor. We have calculation now. That first batch of free SHS students were the first batch of a mofra, a warm, and the free maternal care. It was under the MPP that we had that free maternal care. Under the MPP that we had the health insurance. Under the MPP that we had the livelihood empowerment against poverty. Under the MPP that we had free SHS. There has not been a single social intervention brought by the NDC on any day. But they are experts in Saudi Arabia, no maseno. And that is why I believe that it is a shared responsibility to keep the NDC far away from the governance of our country. Because NDC are buying power nanka ye call COVID di moi and we are no more UK. And say bedu bebu be ruwa kruwan where we feel ntimi nka nipa tu. Even here in the UK, people were dying on daily basis. But back home, anya nebusuafo ni adofo e wo ho no. Na nado aban any Dr. Baumia buying to me preserve lives. The government had to make a choice between the economy or human beings. Other governments made decisions. Doctors had to decide who to live and who to die. But in our country, our government, President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Baumia had to make that decision that let's protect lives. But I'm confident. Say, baby, nanado name penifo. Dr. Baumia and the team are on That's why we are moving to the next chapter. And I'm confident that this next chapter, Nyamito Nshensi Oguswa, and this covenant-keeping God keeps his covenant with us. I'm sure in January 2025, you will have another NPP administration return to Jubilee. Madam Munas.
Yeah, that's it. So, next speaker is no other person than our very own Mr. Anthony Cabo, former MP for Laura, a member of the Bamia campaign team, and a former Deputy Minister of Roads and Highways. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Anthony Cabo.
Thank you very much, His Excellency, the High Commissioner, the Chairman of the party, our branch in the UK, the Ghanaian community here, our ministers, leader of the House, and all members of the campaign team, particularly the delegation from Ghana. I just want to stand on the same protocols. The last time I was in UK was at a youth event. High Commissioner, I'm sure you recall that a few statements that I made landed me into some troubles back home in Ghana. But I just want to put a few things in perspectives so that at least we can all appreciate where we have come from and where we ought to go. Our party today is one of the most popular parties in the country. And I say this on the basis of what has happened in the various election cycles we've been through. We are also one of the most resilient political parties in the country. We've been in opposition for 35 years. We know how to take care of ourselves, mobilize ourselves, and recapture political power. His Excellency President Kufuor broke the jinx for our tradition in 2000. President Kufuor was contesting against a sitting vice president. In 2000, we won that election in a runoff. In 2004, we won that election also outright. In 2008, we selected a new leader of our party in the person of His Excellency, the current president of our republic, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, in 2008. In 2008, Ghana was faced with so many problems. In Greater Accra alone, we had water crisis in Greater Accra in 2008. We had motor courts that were arresting taxi drivers, trotro drivers, and actually prosecuting and fining them. This is in 2008. We had this ominous problem on our head as a government, the murder of Yana and 40 others, which was a major political football for our opponents. Fuel prices on the world market was inching about $120 a barrel. Prices of fuel went up. In the face of all these problems, we elected Akufo-Addo as our leader, and he ran one of the most difficult campaigns, traversing the entire country, 200 constituencies, even under those difficulties. The first round of the election, Akufo-Addo led with over 100,000 votes. In 2008, but for our deficit in our parliamentary seats, Akufo-Addo would have been president in 2008. It tells you that the MPP is loved, the MPP is growing, the MPP is popular, the MPP is the party of choice for Ghanaians. We are faced with the same situation, and I'm sure one of the biggest regrets of President Kufuor was the inability of the MPP to continue. It took a President Kufuor to come and save the National Health Insurance Program, which was one of the most far-reaching social intervention policies ever implemented under the Fourth Republican Constitution in the history of our country. No social intervention policy at this instance could affect close to over 11 million of the population. Today we are talking about surely well over 20 million people captured under the scheme. President Kufuor saved that important social intervention that President Kufuor put in place. Many of you who lived here before Kufuor came into office had to send money for healthcare, for your families, your friends, all the other people you left back in Ghana. Today, that's not the case. We have gone to an election as a family. We have elected a new leader. I am happy that at least today the MPP has President Kufuor, valuable asset to our party and our tradition. We would have President Akufo-Addo with two former heads of states of our country, all coming from the New Patriotic Party. And I believe that the Bawumia we have picked to be our leader, a man who was plucked from obscurity and given to the party. President Akufo-Addo selected him. Today, he's the leader of our party. I am of the firm belief that these two political giants of our party and our tradition will want to see us break the eight and continue with the legacy of our party. I believe that strongly. But it's not going to become easy. The NDC is as prepared, even more prepared. They are believing in their own polls that they have conducted. But our polls are on the ground. We've done 16 regions. We will continue 276 constituencies across the country. We will leave no stone unturned. We will do everything in our power under the sun, legally, constitutionally, to ensure that we break the eight and swear His Excellency Dr. Bawumia as president in 2025. But that assignment is a duty call. That assignment is a duty call. And it would mean that all of us here, whether we are home, the impact, the influence that we have on our communities, on our brothers and our families will have to be brought to bear. Like Chairman Wontumi said, this has never happened in the history of our country where the two political parties have chosen two Northerners to contest for this election. The MPP, which is traditionally popularly known as an Akan-based party, has chosen a Mamprusi minority from the north, a Muslim, as its leader, largely elected by majority Christians in the MPP party. Now we have John Mahama, also from the north, presented by his party. The fundamental question in the minds of many Northerners, many Northern intelligentsia, is of these two, which of them will properly represent the North and be able to lead our country and restore the lost glory of honesty, truthfulness, and hard work. I am happy that the MPP has settled on Bawumia, and I'm happy that as I engage many of our brothers in the 5 northern regions, they are motivated that this party is indeed a diverse party, and this party would allow hard work, commitment, and people who can offer for the greater good to lead our party. So that's a major motivation. We are going to have a decision between the great-grandson of Ndeura Jakpa, and we are going to have a decision to be made with one of the great-grandsons of Nagbewa. These two lineages are going to produce a president, one for 4 years and the other for 8 years. And that is the decision on our hands. I would like to treat all of us, the overseas branches. A lot of the seats we won in the 5 northern regions was as a result of your contribution. A case in point is the Yagaba seat. It took your support to snatch that seat from the NDC. I hope that we will continue to adopt, to support, and encourage our candidates to do their best to ensure that we break the jinx, win the next election convincingly. We lost an election with 23,000 votes. No political party on the continent of Africa will hand over with 23,000 votes. It will not happen. But His Excellency President Akufo-Addo gave it out. 2024, we are going to win. We must win. We will work hard to win. And we will win with a convincing margin such that the Ghanaian people will accept that this is indeed the true reflection of what the Ghanaian people and the choice that they have made. It's a hard election. Nobody should kid yourself. The 2024 election is a difficult election. But it will take hard work. It will take commitment. It will take a lot of determination. It will take a lot of groundwork. It will take... Let us abandon the social media, which makes us comfortable. Get to the ground, house to house, knock the doors, enter the ghettos, and everywhere we must ensure that we occupy the space. I won't say much. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kabo. MPP is indeed a diverse party. I'd like to recognize Council of Elders, MPP UK. I know you're here. Thank you very much for your support. Also, MPP UK executives, thank you very much for your support. You're duly recognized. Questions already. We're almost at the point where we're going to do the question and answers. We still have our VIP dignitaries here who are going to respond to your keen questions. And I know there are going to be some interesting, very keen questions for them to respond. For some of you, I know you're going to make up your mind after this event, and I'm sure I can guess which direction you're going to go. So thank you very much for staying and listening. We have 2 more speakers, and then we do the question and answers. At this point, I would like to invite Honorable Dr. Powwefull to come up. Honorable, there's a time, it rules on our soul. In terms of the I got 1.5 minutes.
Thank you, MC. His Excellency, protocol duly observed. Already above 5 o'clock. Neza. Doctors also had to put a free no more corner. She nani here. 24 London, UK branch of New Patriotic Party, and then Penina Ifigana by many capabini and Macansemina, Matinina, and a woman and odo support. Munina when it is abatro, your qua batro moi, you be no na Mentimuasika Crebiaba. And she said, Penny4, I had genuine fear, see a reconciliation. Yaki kaya hua boom near frefre and yanomno. Momoye, mom swamoa, intimiki kaya humum. Na say yem bakwa, ana ejumana be emre. Minianamunina Casano, be a mere 2024 elections, and yebete, sir. Yemum be a queer between am and I am re. See a kaya hubuma between am and I am re. Ubi o hard and a bumabu, Mummy and Kenyano. Ubi o hard and a basemu ahujo. Moma yan senadine. Ubi also cried and see a sumner, and anybody also. Mummy and Yanisa. na yɛmfa ahoɔden baako ɛnkɔ abattoɔ no. Mɛda mo ase papaapa. Nyame nhyira mo.
Thank you, Honorable Kokufu. 1.5 minutes. I think you did it in 1.6. It'll be team time in about 1 second. No, 0.1 of a second. What is 1 second? Anyway, thank you very much. Continue to make your questions ready. So, if you hold up somebody will bring the mic to you, and then you can ask your question. But we have one last speaker, and certainly not the least. But before that, I would like to properly introduce a man that is at the forefront of our financial matters in Ghana, a former mayor of Tamale, former deputy minister of energy, MP for Karaga, and a man who's leading our financial charge. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me recognize Honorable Dr. Mohammed Amin Anta. Our last speaker, as I said, a very important man, who came in with the Kente dance, Adwa dance, and the Kente ladies. Lovely things to see. Honorable is MP for Futu and former deputy leader, and now the leader of parliament in Ghana. Please, let's welcome to the stage Honorable Afenyo Markin. Should we time him? Okay.
Good evening to you all. I'm happy to be here, an opportunity to share with you the success story of our own government. High Commissioner of Ghana to the United Kingdom, High Commissioner of Ghana to Canada, Ministers of State, executives of UK, MPP, the clergy, gentlemen and ladies of our country here. Indeed, this evening, you've all spent your time here to know one thing: the facts as we have them in our country. For me, my joy is that in this interaction so far, it's been issues after issues. No opportunity to insult or attack. As part of democracy, when we're entering, we saw some few people also expressing dissent. I said the beauty of it, no attack, we laughed over it, and we are here. But I recall that growing up, my mom was a pupil teacher. My stepdad was a mason and was working with Pomazi Pottery. When I had my admission to St. Augustine's, the problem was how to get to St. Augustine's. It took the contribution of some rich men in an area in Winneba called Low Cost. In Winneba, Low Cost is the area for the upper class. So my friends whose parents were of the upper class informed their parents that one of them has had distinction, but the parent could not afford. I recall my stepdad took a loan from Pomazi, and others contributed to get me there. For 3 years in St. Augustine's, I didn't have a mattress. When I tell the story, people wonder how I survived. I slept on the hardwood. There was no mattress. In final year in St. Augustine's, Pomazi Pottery Business Company had collapsed. My mom was virtually compelled by my stepdad, to add her name to the redeployment list. She was joining 31st December. I recall my stepdad said, no, 31st December or your Rollins. Intimanko join one. So her name was part of those who were to be sent home and given a package. At the time, it rained heavily. All her money was lost through the garage she took from Biposo. There was no insurance, as you may know. So in final year, I was sent home. And in St. Augustine's, before you are sent home, you are given some 6 lashes. I came back home. Then some teachers intervened. I was asked to go back. Then I heard of Powwefull's bursary. He had brought this bursary and said, anybody who is able to break his record in government history literature, that person would have that bursary. So it was a competition. And by the grace of God, through that bursary, I finished school. Now I relate. This to many of my classmates who had distinction but could not pursue secondary education as a result of their parents being poor. And this brings me to the mighty free SHS policy that has transformed our country, Ghana, and given opportunity to the many poor children to have access to secondary education. I'm able to confirm on authority that through this policy, our country now has 1.4 million youth in secondary schools, as compared to the 800,000 we came to meet in 2016. Sometimes when such noble policies are introduced, we take the benefit for granted. But you and I know that for you in the UK today, you are getting less calls for support for secondary education because of free SHS. When free SHS was being talked about, we had our friends, the NDC, who were saying it was not possible at all. In fact, they came out with a song saying free SHS was 419. As part of the free SHS policy, government has expanded infrastructure in all our secondary schools. I say all our secondary schools. I'm here with the facts. So you can just Google any secondary school of your choice in this country, in our country, Ghana, and find out whether from 2017 to date, we have seen any addition or not. Then you come back to me and say, Honorable, you lied, or Honorable, indeed, you told us the truth. But I say on authority that every secondary school since 2017 has seen an infrastructural development since the inception of the free SHS. We can check it. Now, when we started the free SHS, there were many calls for the introduction of the same policy for our CODVET, the vocational training arm of our training. So government also introduced the TVET education, free TVET, as part of the free SHS. Not only that, all the 58 TVET institutions have seen massive, I use the word massive, infrastructural development. Our TVETs were abandoned. No classrooms, no desk, no administration blocks, no equipment, machinery for training. Today, you go to each one of them, and I challenge the adversaries of our government. I challenge those who may disagree, and even challenge those of you who are party people, that to fortify you in your debate, please check, Google any of the NVTIs in Ghana. Just call your village, your community where you know that there's an NVTI there, and ask whether there's any addition by way of infrastructure, so that you can know that this government is not a sleeping government. In my constituency, Efutu, where we have an NVTI, prior to the introduction of the free NVTI education, we had 300 plus population. Today, the enrollment has shot up to 1,300 plus within a short period. Meaning that there were many more at home. Although we introduced free SHS, because NVTI technical education was not free, they were sitting at home. And you know what? That is the population that poses a danger to our security, because they are idle hands. So if they are unable to acquire skills, it becomes a security problem. The robbery goes on. You have a population that is unproductive and becomes a threat to our future. MPP has solved that problem. Apart from this, our friends, when they were in government, introduced what they called day schools. They introduced a day school policy where they were building a certain number of e-blocks. At the time they left office, for all the 8 years that they were in office, they could build only 27. A government as responsible as ours came into office. They don't abandon that policy. Apart from we building new secondary schools, apart from the MPP administration building new secondary schools, we have also completed 34 more of the day schools. That was just a policy, but nothing was done on the ground. We have done that. So it tells you that MPP believes in development and believes that education is one key way of transforming our country. We didn't say it was an NDC thing. And whilst at it, let me also add that we came to meet, you will hear, University of Ghana Medical Center. It's a premier medical facility. Truly, Professor Mills of blessed memory initiated that health program.
Abusiamfo medamu nyina ase ene mo contribution ene yedoso pa ye nipa beyese nipa 300 ena yehwe video sese abusia ye mesra wa ne se bomodren na subscribe to this channel na enso no bomodren so be follow yen e wo RAZ Media GH na wasan so afolo yen e wo Kennedy Japan Junior ni page so abusia yedimo besia because time ko pa yenwia SKB TV akanjagum enti mo modern so say mo be kɔ ne ho na yakotoa dwumadie no so e wo ho ayini nyansan video ni nyansan. But we will bring you back this video again. We will bring you afenyo markings in a part na ochina said the TBI the afenyo markings in a part na be dey ebebramo amamatie we na ye exclusive meeting e course so e wo UK hall meeting sabio MPP mpayimfo akasefo etimi ekoti esi mu ho mo ne MPP for ne Ghana for omo UK nyina ekohia edi nkomo etoto adwene abusia ya bie phone lines na tum utumi frɛ na wa kyerɛ wadwen saa nso na yewia SKB TV nso no our life utumi jumpo ekɔ ne ho SKB TV ewo Facebook esanso o YouTube saa nso na phobia member ewo Facebook na YouTube Baomia page 2024 eno nso wo Facebook Sister Diana ene hweso me chachi adofo nyina Prince Powwefull great man, you're always here. Estenti, this is your first day. Hope happy to see you here. Kumsen Betia wonso mechiao. Phobia member TV wonso mechiao. SKB TV mechiao. Miss B wonso mechiao. Ewo warmed greetings and amedemao. Abusiamfo ye be phone lines na tum utumi frɛ na wa kyerɛ wadwen. Sanso na mebo monka ye se ye nyina ye firi ha pɛ ye kɔ SKB TV ho. Ejaginam ewo ho na ye ne no ayedan akotoa program no so ewo ne channel no so. Sesi aye kasa yi ho. Sister Diana mechiao osikani kwadwo kwaache wonso mechiao. Nana Denton wonso mechia phobia member Diana Pia Anane Kwame wonso mechia George Bampon mechia Lady Osei wonso mechia Yaw Clement ya wonso mechia phobia member mechacha mu nyina busiamfo ene yabo adwuma pa YouTube ho na hwa ye mase vom na me hu de menye o se Diana Rivers o se promote it is possible with Dr. Bawumia. Okay Sister Diana na me nim se wa creative Sister Diana he say accounts they say Nikita on Facebook sister yeah intina busia it is possible with Dr. Bahamadu Bawumia another page ewo Facebook and so Sister Diana Rivers and a share chile or the boy Juma pa or the boy Juma into the monya word na manko hwe and also achia kwai George Boampon or say MPP moving up. Yes, MPP has conquered the campaign on social media and also on the ground. Etiabusia moma yanyere ho na yemo adwuma yanom de already you have tend to be media men. Yes, people that are trying to do all what we can to support and to promote, especially to promote and to do things, especially to make sure say the messages of His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia enkoyera won framam na mom no yebetumi a promote to the grounds. Ama enipa wom no beto aba no ebenya nsem no bi atie nti abusua that is what we are doing. And sometimes ebia na me kwaku me betra ha na me ka asem na you may not believe or you may not trust nti se yenya atitrofo binom te say chama wuntumi Dr. Kumia JFK nom ne mpamfo akuku damamo party nom na omo anka say kasa na ye deba platform no so I think say it makes it more significant. It adds a lot of value to the statement omobeka. That is why we try to capture all of these types of informations across board. Na ye de abrem wo ha say the buyer ye betumi anya biatie na yate ye ho asese ensem na ye betra ha ye ka no they are not things ya na ya sheda akekan ye mabom na ye ka na mom no. These are the campaign message from the leader Dr. Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia. And that is what we are doing. And also the extra one say, whilst we are bringing you the information, you also to help us to share our pages and our channels. Say the beya messages no be actually not breaking the 8 no akoso ye. We have Felix Apia political zone say MPP have the man and we shall break the 8 for sure. Felix Apia political zone and so the mother MPP platform on social media. I mean, in terms of blogging for the good work of the MPP, Felix Apia political zone, one of the mother platforms, or more promote a lot about MPP and a lot about Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia and more about the ideology behind the party called MPP. Ente no so mo hwe na chia kwan na mo support no political zone Apia Felix. Yes. Papa na NDC for omutimi gada 20 nso omutumi ya na hwe no. Mo hwe na chia kwan na mo support no. George Boampon say we have to face the NDC bambooms equal. Yes, equally we have to face them. George, hono say abrante ba kon UK. Yeah, or UK. So boy juma pa. Felix Apia, my brother, good work. Happy to join you today. You're welcome, bro. You know, here is your home. Anytime. We know that you are in Ghana and it is not even easy for you to schedule times to meet and do things. Yeah. Abusha, ya church ya munyina, mo amoba yenyina, but YouTube for no. Ene ya doso. Moma subscriptions no nsu. Moma subscriptions no nsu. Nsiakwasi, or say Ras, you look fantastic, bro. And then you see my African world. Yes. And then YouTube for no more doso. Moma subscription no ensu na yenko yanim. Na page no so no emfa ne ntoma pamfra na nipadom enhu our assistance. Now messages na yede ba den across board, because a lot of times, me for example, I prefer to bring out messages, videos from the leadership. You know why? Because send this inibity say miracle so can say he believe it. So when there are issues coming from the leaders themselves, I prefer to bring that on board. In Tebusia, that is what we are doing. Ya entina busia na de ohono no me de asi ha se de tibia no ye se de tibia no se de tibia ne besi ehia ye chiachia tiefo nyira moma nyina ye nko SKB TV ne platform so na ye nko boara na omfa ne nyuma enko na wieye me da munyina ase ha RAZ Media GH and Kennedy Japan Junior of Facebook. We will have to face, we have to talk about the guy who was beaten. Yeah, George, we'll talk about that. Don't worry. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Abusianfo, the bunyina besia, the best share.